A woman returns to her grave and is surprised to find that no one has ever come to pay respects to her tomb. She can't understand why, since she only died 10 years ago. Why hasn't anyone come to clean her grave? Especially since her parents are still alive. To find out the truth, she goes back home to see why her parents never come to visit her. When she arrives, she finds that all traces of her in the house have been completely removed, as if she had never lived there. But she remembers that before she died, her parents loved her the most. At her funeral, they cried so hard it was heartbreaking. They even promised to burn paper money for her every year, especially in the first year after her death. To prevent them from forgetting her, she often visited them in her dreams. But just a few years later, her parents seem to have completely forgotten her. Seeing her parents being so cruel, the woman no longer feels attached to the world. She immediately opens the gate to the underworld to return to hell and reincarnate. She doesn't realize that she's made a big mistake. Her parents removed all memories of her because they loved her too much. They kept receiving her dreams where she said she didn't want to be reborn and wanted to stay in the underworld as a ghost. She worked 20 hours a day to accumulate enough merits to return to the world and see her parents again after 10 years. Although this touched her parents, it also made them uneasy. They didn't want their daughter to suffer so much in the underworld after dying. To help her forget about them and be reborn, they followed a master's advice. However, every year on her anniversary, the mother couldn't resist wanting to visit the grave, but the father always stopped her. He knew that only by completely forgetting their daughter could she let go of her attachment and be reborn. But the daughter didn't think that way. For 10 years, she worked hard in the underworld and finally got a chance to be reborn as the daughter of a wealthy family. But wealth meant nothing to her. All she wanted was to see her parents again. Seeing how attached the girl was to her parents, the king of hell gave her a permit to return to the world for 7 days to visit her parents. After returning, she saw her grave hadn't been cleaned or visited for 10 years and felt very sad. However, she didn't take it to heart. All she wanted was to see her parents right away. So she went to the place where her parents passed by every day to buy groceries and intentionally met her mother. But surprisingly, her mother didn't recognize her. It was because the permit changed her appearance. Seeing that her parents didn't want to mention her, the girl bought some vegetables and decided to leave. Suddenly, a tricycle with failed brakes rushed toward her mother. In an emergency, the girl grabbed her mother and pulled her away. The mother was saved. Afterward, the mother was very grateful to the girl. Seeing the girl's injured arm, she put a band-aid on it and returned the wallet she had dropped. To further thank the girl for saving her, the father gave her a bank card, but the girl refused to take it. Seeing that the girl didn't want any money, the mother invited her to have dinner at their house. However, when the girl followed her mother home, she was shocked. Her favorite milk was now replaced with cola. The paintings on the wall were now other people's famous works, and her own paintings had been thrown away. Even her favorite teddy bear had been replaced with a dog that her sister-in-law liked. Seeing that there was no trace of herself left in the house, the girl felt it was no longer her home. She didn't even eat the meal and left immediately. Then she went to a bar to drink alone and opened the door to the underworld with the permit to return early. But at that moment, 2 hooligans saw the girl and tried to flirt with her. Since she didn't want to reveal her identity, she had to endure